Greetings and salutations, everybody. I am Scojo in360. Round 1 of the Battle Royale between the Insta360 One X and the GoPro Max begins now. Well, first of all, welcome to the Mount Bachelor Nordic Center, or as I like to call it, my second home. I've been getting all kinds of requests from everyone saying, give us some comparisons of the Insta360 One X. Well, they don't actually use that voice, but a comparison between the Insta360 One X and the GoPro Max. So now that the snow has fallen, I decided, let's take you out. We'll do some comparisons. This is the first of the series where we are going to compare footage, and then we will compare audio, workflow, gadgets, fun stuff like that. So for today, let's start off with video. Let's rock.
I'm in the right place. I'm in the perfect spot. Don't need no sad face.
All right, so first up on the docket is just the straight footage out of the camera. This one shoots, this is GoPro Max, shoots 24 frames per second at 5.6K in 360. I've got all the settings to auto. That's going to be true for all day today. Everything is auto. And we will first start off with showing you some 5.6K with the GoPro Max.
Overall, I'm really impressed with the footage out of the Max. Now, the white balance when set to auto in this kind of shadow, really not working for me all that well. And I do like footage to look good right out of the camera, but it's very solid, very clear. And if you take a look at the blues in the sky, that's without any added color in post. So overall, I'm very impressed with the footage from the Max.
Next up is the Insta360 One X, 24 frames per second, 5.7K. Leave it in the comments section below what you think.
Now, Insta360 recently released their True Color Edition that you can put in to render your video, and I used it in this case, and it didn't really shine.
That was kinky.
It does shine in certain environments, but here it feels a little bit brittle. You don't see the color of the skies like you want, but all in all, it does look good, and I have seen it without this edition, and the 5.7K is solid.
All right, well, which one did you like best? If you aren't sure, go back, look at highlights, look at blacks. Are they crushed or are they too bright with noisy? Are the highlights too high, the low lights too low, all that fun stuff. Now, we are going to do one of my favorite settings on the Insta360 One X, the 4K 50 frames per second. Let's do a comparison.
Of all the settings on all the cameras I've used, the 50 frames per second at 4K is my favorite on the Insta360 One X. It just looks awesome.
Wait, the GoPro Max doesn't have 50 frames per second? Alright, next up, I'm climbing this hill so I can go down it in the Insta360 One X 3K 100 frames per second. Check this out.
The 100 frames per second maybe isn't the highest quality, but you get some amazing footage. Everything looks cooler in around 100 frames per second, even just standing still and acting like an idiot like me. Now, I noticed with the True Color Edition, when it got into the dark shadows in the blacks, I did see a lot of noise. You won't see it here, but I did notice a significant amount of noise in the blacks in shadow, so be aware of that. But all in all, I just love the 100 frames per second on the Insta360 One X. It's awesome.
Wait, the GoPro Max doesn't have any slow-mo in 360? I digress.
Funky music.
That's right, the GoPro Max has no slow motion in 360, but before you go casting your judgment too tough, it does have one feature the One X doesn't. Hero mode. Now, Hero mode is exactly what it sounds like. You just suddenly have a GoPro Hero in your hands. Flat, traditional 2D video, and then you do get some slow motion.
The 60 frames per second in Hero mode is actually pretty nice. The problem is you only get that one lens and that one view. You can't choose from 360 degrees of video, so this really just serves as kind of a nice vlogging camera. But the footage looks great.
Okay, now let's try out Hero mode on the Insta360 One X. Oh, that's right, it doesn't have one. But you know, not that big of a deal. If you shoot with an Insta360 One X in 360, you can use reframing and viewfinder and all that stuff to make flat video. So, Hero mode, not that big of an upgrade.
Honestly, the footage right out of the Max is awesome. They just need to give us some slow motion. That's a major faux pas in my book.
Yeah, you are seeing right. There is a major flaw in the GoPro Max. No slow motion in 360. Now, there are a lot of other benefits to the GoPro Max that I will be getting into in other videos, but for this particular video, the winner of footage, hands down, Insta360 One X. All right, well, that's it for now. This is a first chapter in an ongoing series. I'm gonna take you out into the wilderness on my skis and make some comparisons with both cameras, and of course, end every video like we always do with some dancing, but I'm also gonna toss in some extra high frame rate Insta360 One X. Let's rock. Wait, hold up. I forgot to ask you to subscribe, so please subscribe. And now back to your regularly scheduled high frame rates.